You made it. Hi, how you doing? It is certified personal trainer Mary Beth Rockwell coming to you from gorgeous San Francisco. The weather's beautiful here again today. Hello and welcome to the Next Fitness Show, brought to you by the Next Fitness Thing, our amazing and awesome workout and wellness platform. Check us out at thenextfitnessthing.com. If you have not done so, we'll be happy to have you. And we got a back to basics show lined up today, Alexis and I do. So Alexis, come on in here and say, hey, our CEO here at TNFT, our executive producer of the
Hey,
show, doing all the things and constantly doing all the things. So thanks, Alexis. We love you. Let's get an overview of what we're going for on this show, back to basics style. So this applies to you whether you are brand new to working out and the material we're going to give to you is like totally a revelation to you. You've never heard that before. Or if you have been working out for a long time, but maybe you're falling into some not so great habits or ruts or things like that, we're going to have some information for that's going to apply to everybody in this show, ideally. So love it. We are going to also pass along the housekeeping announcements because it's very important that we are closing in on 500 subscribers here on this YouTube channel. If you have not done so, please subscribe yourself. Please tell everybody you know to subscribe to, because as soon as we get to 500 subscribers, it's going to open things up for us. We'll have some more features to work with that will help us grow so we can help you achieve your goals as well. So please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted every time we put up something live. And it's happening fast and furious lately here on this channel. And then also, if you're with us live, so glad you made the time to join us in real time. Please feel free to chat away in the comments. Let us know where you are. Let us know what's going on in your world, and chime in on the discussion as well. And if you happen to be checking this out on the recorded version, I'm glad you are too. So come join us live when you can. It's live Fridays, 1 p.m. Pacific time. With the exception, by the way, of Thanksgiving Friday. We've decided we're going to take that day off. So just FYI. We will have an episode next week though, okay? And then of course, if I mentioned, you can find us and our wellness platform and lots of great workout classes and meditations and yoga and all the things at thenextfitnessthing.com and our Facebook group. You're always welcome, whether or not you are a TNFT member yet. You can find us at facebook.com/groups/the next fitness thing. Lots of fun and camaraderie and good info there to go around, because this community is what makes us, this is the engine that makes us run here at TNFT, or walk if the case is low impact. All right, so Alexis, are you ready to come on in here and we can get our discussion rocking? We have a trainer tip for you. And this is like, when we go back to basics, the most basic thing that you do in your life is breathe. But how much do you pay attention to your breathing? So we're going to come at this from a couple of different angles. So there is the breathing that you do, like, for example, while you're doing an exercise. And often I get the question, when should I be breathing? Should I be breathing as I'm lifting? Should I be breathing as I'm lowering? Should I be breathing as I'm crunching, or whatever? You should always be breathing, job one. But I'm going to handle more of that side of things. And then Alexis is going to handle more of the mindfulness breath work, because she's better versed in that and I'm better versed in the other one. So two different angles here. So Alexis, you want to go first, or you want me to go first? Either way.
I think you should go first. Let's talk about it
Okay.
from the fitness perspective
I don't
first.
know.
That's
I don't
what
know
we're here.
what that was, by the way. It's an alternating biceps curl, apparently, with body weight. All right.
Oh, very
Okay.
nice, very
So
nice.
yeah,
It's
it's
like a
like
Vogue, bicep Vogue.
I can't vogue to save my life. All right. So when you are working out, doing an exercise, like I say, my in-person training clients ask me this all the time, as well as peeps here, our teammates at TNFT. When is the right time for me to exhale? When is the right time for me to inhale? Well, there are some different ways to go about this. The number one cue that I generally give is exhale on the exertion, which means it's easier to remember. And that's basically when you're fighting gravity for the most part. So, example, when you're doing, let's say, a triceps extension, because I was going to go the other one, which is coming up later. So it's when you're lifting that you're fighting the most gravity. So that's when you want to exhale. And then as you return to your starting point, that's when you want to inhale. So exhale it up, inhale it down. In the position of a squat, for example, you would inhale on the way down and exhale on the way up, because that's when you're pushing up and fighting gravity. So it's whenever you're doing the most quote unquote work. All right. Bottom line. Easy way to kind of shorthand that. Now, when it comes to core strengthening, the phrase that I like to use a lot is accordion breathing. So if you think about an accordion, you press on the accordion, the air blows out. You expand the accordion, the air goes back in. Guess what happens in your core? When you press in your accordion, your air blows out. When you open up the accordion, the air goes back in. So basically, when you want to inhale is when you are out of the crunch position. So it's when your lungs are going to be at full capacity and you get that little extra work from all the little muscles in your rib cage when you exhale on the exertion and exhale on the crunch, excuse me. So your diaphragm, your intercostal muscles in between your ribs, it all gets your obliques, all gets involved in there. Of course, your rectus abdominis, the six pack, everybody's got one. And that just remember to breathe. If you're ever in doubt, just breathe. You don't have to be 100% on this one, but if you're looking to get the most effectiveness out of the exercise and get everything working for you on every single rep, try to connect your breath to what you're doing in the exercise, and it's going to just get that little extra bang for your buck. All right, your turn, Alexis. Now you're going for the mindfulness side of things. And if you have anything to add to what I said,
yeah, I mean, I love what you're saying.
Free.
I totally am with you on the fitness front on this. Yay. Yes, breathe with the exertion.
Yeah.
Also, with that, I mean, what I like to say in class is like you have two choices: breathe or die. That's basically it, right? Like
that's basics as you can get. Like I said, yep. Can't get more basic than staying alive. Staying alive. Sorry, I digress.
Exactly.
Anywho,
you got Vogue. Now you got like.
I know. I'm dancing all over the place today, but for better or worse. Okay. So as far as the mindfulness aspect of breathing, this is going to be more your part of the discussion, and I got some thoughts too. But yeah, go ahead.
Your breath really determines the quality of the energy in your body. So you might notice that your breath is tied to whether you're asleep or awake. Your breath is tied to whether you're very attentive. Your breath is tied to whether your emotional state. So there is a certain breath that corresponds to panic, and there is a breath that corresponds to concentration. There's a breath that corresponds to high intensity exercise. All of these things sort of have a breath quality to them. So you can come about this from the perspective of like what you're talking about, where I'm exercising, so I'm going to do the breath that goes with exercising. And there's also an opportunity to meet it from the other side, where I would like to experience this quality of energy. So I am going to create the breath that will correspond to that quality of energy. So I notice for myself, when I'm in a state of panic or fear, I breathe really high in my lungs, short breaths, like right, and that brings out this sense of like and if I would like to find a relief from that, then I can take deeper, slower breaths.
Mm-hmm.
So your heart rate goes down the longer your exhale. And in general, especially for those of you who are working on exercise, I would focus specifically in the exhale as much as possible. And really just notice that the inhale tends to happen automatically, and that the exhale, once you've created the vacuum of the exhale, the inhale is just going to happen.
True.
So really focus on allowing yourself to empty your breath and just start noticing the quality of breath at different times. There are certainly many exercises that we could go into. Like, I mean, there's this guy, Wim Hof, you've probably seen him. He has an entire career out of one breath technique, where yoga has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of breath techniques to offer.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of ways to approach this, but just to start experimenting with it is a really good place to start. And come to meditation class if that's something you'd like to work on. Also, when I teach yoga on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4:30 Pacific, we usually do a little breath work at the beginning as well. So those are good places to start if you want to build the skill set.
Awesome advice. And I do teach meditation classes as well. I didn't used to, and then I started teaching. And I was like, I love leading meditation practices now, guided meditation. So mine are generally like in the later part of the day, so 5:30, 5:45 Pacific-ish. But my advice regarding meditation breathing is meditation breathing is about being mindful and really focusing on your breath. and the rhythm and how it feels and everything. We breathe involuntarily all the time, in through our nose, in through our mouth. If you inhale through your nose and then exhale through your mouth, you have to think about your breathing more rather than doing it involuntarily. So you have to think about that or else it doesn't happen, right? So that really just syncs your mind and your body just a little bit more effectively when you're meditating. And I find it works for me. And I mean, other people may think the same way. Whatever works for you is good too. But yeah, I come join me in a meditation practice. That's bottom line. You gave yourself a plug, so I'm giving myself a plug too.
Yeah,
But check out Alexis's yoga as well, Tuesdays and Thursdays. All right, anything else? Are we ready to move on that one? I hope you got something out of that one because, like I said, we breathe all the time. We don't necessarily think about it and how we can do it effectively and how it can, adversely or positively affect what we're doing. But they are intertwined. So practice that and experiment and play around with it as we get back to basics here. All right. Speaking of back to basics, we are going to move on to our mid-show stretch break. We were trying to think of what we could do for a stretch this week. And when we were thinking like we should go back to basics and do something that we probably don't even think about all that much. Maybe we did it when we were kids, when we had monkey bars and tree branches and things, but we're going to go back to hanging from a bar. So we have a still photo because there's really no movement involved in this stretch, but you're literally reaching up, grabbing onto something above you, and then letting your body weight extend your arms, let gravity extend your spine, open up all that space between your vertebrae because we sit all the time and our weight is pressing down on us. And this is just a great, easy little counter activity to that. So Alexis, what are your thoughts on this one? I know you were probably climbing trees and mountains and everything when you were a kid. So
love this
backflips.
This is something that I practice all the time still. I'm still pretty playful in my body in that way. I want to give a shout out real quick to everybody in the chat. Carol, Jenny, Megan, Donna D, and Natalie. Hello.
Hey,
Okay. So hanging from the bar. This one, for one, the grip strength, super helpful. Grip strength is directly correlated to life expectancy. So being able to hang from a bar might be harder than you think. A bar, the smaller the bar, the easier it will be to hold on to a point. The larger, a big fat bar will be harder to hold on to. So you might want to find this bar on a playground, but you could also get a chin-up bar for your door. I have the kind that just cantilevers. It doesn't even screw into anything. It just kind of hangs over the door jamb. And so if you're trying not to damage your house, or something, that's a really good option. And I just hang it over the door to my laundry room. So every time I walk through, I try to just do a little hang or a little shrug or something. Of course, we could talk about pull-ups, but really hanging is a huge help. The grip, also the traction of being able to let gravity just pull your spine back out and traction out. And I mean, you watch all these action movies and you see these, of course, it's a movie, it's fake, but you see these people in the movie and they're like falling and they grab. That is not very easy. Like, it's actually super challenging. But I think the thing that it points out for me when you see that is like, actually having the ability to hold on to something could literally save your life. So make sure that this is a good thing to practice on so many levels is basically what I'm trying to say.
I'm with you there. And you mentioned your grip strength. If you have issues with your grip strength and you have a challenge holding onto the bar, you might want to benefit from, you may have seen those little hand exercisers. They've got springs in them. You could do that, or you could just grab some Play-Doh or silly putty or whatever you have and just kind of manipulate the dough in your hand. I've been through multiple rounds of hand and wrist stuff. So, and when I went to my therapy for those, I did a lot of squeezing of Play-Doh and things. So just that alone can help you improve your grip strength. And then once you latch onto the bar, you might find that you, after time, are able to hold on to it a little bit easier. So, and you could also do this. I think we talked about maybe doing this when we were talking about pull-ups at one point. so
Mm-hmm.
in the past. You could do this
Mm-hmm.
partly suspended. So you could
Yep.
maybe have your toes on your knees bent and your toes on a box underneath you or something. So you're not letting all of your body weight hang there if that's too much for you, but
Mm-hmm.
you're at least getting part of that benefit, a lot of it actually. And it's not like the full extension, but you're still getting something positive out of it. So
Yeah, I totally agree with that. That's one of the reasons I like the kids' playground these days,
yeah.
is because it's actually for a child, it's child size. So I can, depends on the playground. Some of them are adult size, but often I can still touch my feet to the ground and touch the monkey bars at the same time.
Uh-huh.
So I can just decide how much weight I want to
Yeah.
put in my arms. And it's maybe not all of my weight. And the one thing I want to say with that too is like, shoulder issues can definitely be a thing. So if you
Mhm.
know you have shoulder issues, definitely listen to your shoulder and go gently as you make your way into this position. It should not be painful.
Right.
In general, I would say I'm not a doctor. I'm not diagnosing you to help your joint pain or anything. And if you came to me as a training client and told me that you had, and I could see you have shoulder mobility issues of reaching your arms over your head, or if you have frozen shoulder, which is totally a thing, this is one of the things I would work into your program would be to practice hanging. If you do lack grip strength, a lot of times it's actually can be a shoulder issue going on. So I would just, especially if you have wildly different grip strength between the two hands, I would really suggest getting it checked out and go
Right.
and see if you have impingement in your shoulder or something else or a tear. And it can actually be a sign of something else going on. So yeah.
Indeed. And I'm going to say one more thing from a postural standpoint. Who here is carrying stress in their shoulders right now and they're doing this? That can help release that. So do that whenever you can. Shoulders down away from your ears, shoulders in your back pockets, as we like to say here at TNFT a lot. So again, a lot of basic information. Hope that helped. And if you are a veteran worker outer, exerciser, I hope that we've just reminded you about some good things that you should keep in mind as well. Okay, we are moving on. Shall we move to the Recipe Club? We are wrapping up our inaugural TNFT Recipe Club. Thanks a bunch to RD Sharon B, our registered dietitian Sharon Bowers, who brought this into our lives. We're going to have more on Sharon coming up after we do this little recap of our fourth and final week. These muffins were glorious. I was in the recipe club for all 4 weeks and made these, and they went over quite well with both the hubs and me. So it is a pumpkin muffin with Greek yogurt frosting, and then an optional pumpkin spice syrup. I had some leftover syrup, and I had it for my lunch today with the leftover Greek yogurt that I still had from this as well. Mixed that together with some walnuts and some dried cranberries. Mwah, it was so good. So Alexis, you got the recap video from week 4 with the results that came into the community bulletin board
That
from
sounds so
the
good. I
recipe
want the
club. It was
yogurt. That
yum. It was
sounds
yum, yum, yum.
so good.
And the yogurt
In
had
the
like
chat, Megan is saying super tasty muffins. I agree. They're so
yes.
good. I didn't even make the frosting or the syrup. I just made the muffins and they were fantastic. And I loved how everybody in the recipe club community, as they're posting, everybody's kind of doing it their own way. Like, I said
Yeah.
this, I did it like this. And that's kind of the fun part of it. I put in acorn flour instead of, well, in addition to the oat flour, I mixed them together mostly because I
Yeah.
had it and I wanted to use it for something and I foraged it myself. So I just wanted to, this was the perfect opportunity for it.
That's the nice thing. A
So
lot of Sharon's recipes allow you to do that. Like if you've got something in the pantry that you're looking to use, you can totally swap it in and just, play with it and experiment and improvise and all that. So are you ready for the video? We cool? Let's see everybody's results here. So, by the way, the Greek yogurt frosting. Oh, here we go. Sharon starting off with her skulls and her bats. That's so cute. Donna D, look at that frosting. Yum. Carol iced it up. Nice. Here's mine. Half on, half off with the frosting. I went back and iced them later. Mary, nicely done. Donna D once again, the little glass jar of the pumpkin spice syrup. Good to keep on hand. There's Alexis with the before and the during and the after. Nicely done. they were so good. And that Greek yogurt frosting, by the way, all that's in there is like the yogurt and maple syrup and a little bit of vanilla. And to me, when I put it on my pumpkin muffins, it tasted like cream cheese, and that's like the classic combination, like pumpkin with cream cheese frosting. Oh, so good. So thank you to everybody who took part in the first ever TNFT Recipe Club that was free, by the way. If you missed anything, you can still check it out because it's free for you to check out. And our website is still active with all 4 of the week's recipes for the club, and is thenextfitnessthing.com/recipe club. And then we have some more news regarding the lovely RD Sharon B. There she is. This Sunday, Sharon is going to be hosting a recipe roundtable. This is going to be a 60-minute, basically a virtual, like a Zoom call, basically. And you can get together, and Sharon can offer her registered dietitian nutrition advice for you, because she is clear to do that because she has the education and we don't. We can talk about it basically as trainers, but she's the one. She's got the cred. So, Alexis, do you have any more about the recipe roundtable?
I mean, it's limited to only 5 people. It is a paid
Right.
program, but it will be a really small group. So if you go, you're going to get a lot of personal attention,
Yeah.
and you could really have that as an opportunity to ask her the questions that you might have about the things that you're eating. You could bring your own recipes of what you want feedback on. You could also just bring your habits of, like, I tend to make these 3 things for dinner, or or for breakfast. And so that you can just really have some personalized support. And
And variety, and yeah, and still keeping it healthy. Yeah. And that is going to be this Sunday, November 17th, 5 p.m. Pacific time. So, like we said, it's limited sign up. So, sign up now. You can see the recipe roundtable in our live class schedule, which is open to everybody, whether you're a member with us or you're not yet a member with us. So, you can go to thenextfitnessthing.com/schedule. And you will see, if you scroll to Sunday, you will see the recipe roundtable, and you can sign up through that link. Cool. This is
and
exciting.
yes,
And
and in the
Sharon's got a lot
chat
of good
right now,
news.
everybody's still talking about the muffins. Carol, muffins are so good, and I want to make the syrup. I didn't make the syrup either, so everybody's talking about the syrup. Jonathan says she took the syrup and put it into coffee, and that it was really good in coffee. And Megan agreed. And Megan says that she did the same thing that you did, Mary Beth, with the yogurt and the syrup. So there you
Mm-hmm.
go. Awesome.
Yeah,
I
and
love.
I'm not normally a big pumpkin spice person. I know Sharon loves it because I knew that was, when I saw she was doing this, I said, we're going to have some pumpkin spice recipes coming up in here. But the syrup was really yummy, and it lasts in your fridge for about a week. And I need to get through the rest of mine because I've only done a little bit so far, and I don't want it to go to waste because it's so good. Okay, we need to move on, but I hope you'll check in with RD Sharon B on that one on Sunday night for the recipe roundtable. That's going to be amazing. All right, we have the move of the week now. Ooh, okay, we're moving on to, again, in our Back to Basics show. This is an exercise we're about to bring you that if you take our TNFT classes, especially our strength classes, especially our upper body strength classes, you see all the dang time. All right. So, but with reason, because it's a good basic foundational exercise. It's a biceps curl. And we got Wayne on the screen. Hey, Wayne, how's it going, Wayne? All right. So, Wayne is doing the little twist up at the top. So his palms face his thighs at the bottom, and then curl up toward his shoulders at the top. You could, of course, do this with your palms up the whole time. You could do this hammer curl version with the palms facing each other. Each version of this works your bicep muscles at just a little bit of different angles. So it's good to kind of get all the angles because your body moves in all different angles. Alexis, your thoughts on bicep curls? I have some more, but I want to get you in here. So
I mean, to be totally honest, my thoughts on bicep curls is people spend way too much time on this exercise.
Vanity exercise right here. I know that seriously, there are a lot of other muscles too that are probably more important in the grand scheme of things than your biceps, although your biceps do assist in a lot of regular everyday motions as well. So, yeah, but
Yeah,
I
this is a
see where
glamour
you're going.
exercise.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying there's no benefit, but it's
right.
the biggest thing for me in the bicep curl is whether or not you're hip thrusting. And we've probably all seen the big, like, the strong person in the gym, and it's not always the strong person, but you just see it all the time. And it's especially the the big one in the
That,
gym that's like, okay, and then they hip thrust bicep curl, and hip thrust, bicep curl. And I get it that on some level it's a regression to do that because you're letting the hip thrust help you in the bicep curl, and then you're controlling the negative. So
Right.
I generally try to just like not judge what's going on in the weight room ever and just let everybody do their thing. And with that, the more that you can keep your upper body quiet, neutral, and stable and still while you do the bicep curl, the more you're building core strength at the same time as building your glamour muscles of your biceps at the same time.
And also you need to work your triceps, the opposing muscle group as well at some point to balance that out. My thing on this is often when I see peeps doing this from the side view, so where I am right now, start to see this happen. The elbows come up away from the sides of your rib cage. It's a little bit more elbow and a little less bicep. So you have limited time to work out. Why not send all the emphasis where you are trying to send it? So that's your biceps. So if you keep your elbows right next to the sides of your ribs, and if you have a seam on your top, like I do right here, try to keep your elbows in line with your seam. And then the less your elbows move, the more energy is going to go into the big old biceps that you're trying to work. So let me put my weights back. But was that cool? Anything else?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, the only other thing I would say with the bicep curl is, yeah, you did great with the keeping your upper body quiet. You certainly did.
Thank
the
you.
only other thing I would say is that the further the weight is from your body, the harder, right? So just keep in mind that the part where you're in this open position is really where you're building a lot of strength. So I would suggest going slow through this end range part, and as opposed to, sweeping through it quickly.
Right. And one more thing, keep your wrists straight. Because sometimes I see this and they curl up and this is like, and that when you're carrying weights, that can be taxing on your wrists. And again, it's your wrists trying to cheat for you to get a little bit extra range of motion. But again, you want to send it all in your biceps. So act like you have a cast on either wrist. One time I did have a woman who I was training with it. She broke her wrist. And every time I mentioned have a cast on your wrist, she's like, oh, that's traumatic. Don't say that. So I had to come up with something else for her. But yes, like you have a cast on each wrist and you can't bend them. All right. So that's the imagery there. I come up with images. All right. So shall we move on to our announcements? We got a lot of good things coming. In fact, here at TNFT, Alexis, you're going to be hosting one coming up. But first, we're going to get to our current walking challenge. Yeah. The Attitude of Gratitude Walking Challenge. We're just wrapping up week number 1. We have 2 more weeks to go on this, and these classes are live in our Next Fitness Thing app and website as well. You can log in there and check it out. But it is Mondays through Thursdays now through Thanksgiving Day. More on that to come. You can still sign up for this paid program, and it is thenextfitnessthing.com/gratitude. If you are a TNFT member already, you have an automatic discount when you sign up. If you're not yet a TNFT member, you might want to consider signing up for a membership because you get that substantial discount as well if you join us as a member, and then you're going to have access to a lot of things beyond just this particular challenge. So that's something to keep in mind. And then we have different classes. We got fun and games. We got a little bit more performance-based. And we got this at the end of the road. It is our annual Turkey Trot celebration. We polled our TNFT service team to ask how long they wanted this class to be. Traditionally, it has been a 25-minute class. This time it's going to be 55 minutes because that's what our teammates and our service team asked for. So that is Thanksgiving Day with the lovely trainer Kathy on your screen. She will be there 7 a.m. Pacific time, so you can get it done and dusted before you get out and off to your feast. If you're hosting and you have overnight guests and you want to get them out for a little activity before the feast goes down, that would be cool. Guests are welcome, and everybody can join this, by the way. So you can go to thenextfitnessthing.com/turkey trot if you're not in the challenge, but this class is indeed built into the challenge for those of you who are taking the Attitude of Gratitude with us. All right. Is that it? Did I get all that? That was a lot, but all right, shall we move on? We have the Alexis, you're up next. The Native American Heritage Celebration Walk is tomorrow morning as we're here live, or noon if you're on the East Coast, but 9 a.m. Pacific time. Alexis, go for it. Oh, we don't hear you.
I was
Alexis.
muted.
There we go.
I'm really looking forward to this one this year. This is an event that we tend to do every year, but this year we have a special guest who is Chief Philip Scott. and he will be interviewing him during this walk. So you can walk, you can listen, you can ask questions. I imagine we will stay on camera the whole time as we go through it, but it's 25 minutes. It's all access, totally free. Please come if you can and invite whoever you like. It's great to see you guys there.
Yeah, and this is our monthly community event. We have one of these special events each month that is open to everybody. And this one is going to be really educational as we learn about other cultures that may not be ours, and very full of love in this one. So the nextfitnessthing.com/NA Heritage. If you are new to us, you can get access to it right there. It is also, if you're a member, already on the live class schedule, so you can sign up from there as well. I will be there participating and cheering on Alexis and Chief Philip Scott. So hope to see you there. Next up, we have the November book club, I believe. Yes. Okay. The lovely trainer, Casey. Casey, you're recovering from a little something, something. We wish you well. And hope to see you back on the schedule soon. But Walking Book Club is going to be not this Sunday, next Sunday as we're live. That's going to be Sunday, November 25th, the Sunday before Thanksgiving. This month's book selection is Firekeeper's Daughter. And we mentioned that we're going to have the Native American Heritage Walk because November is Native American Heritage Month. So this book is in that theme as well. The author, Angeline Booley, is an Indigenous author. And Alexis, you were saying that or I guess Casey said that the audiobook reader is also Indigenous. So they're keeping it really close to the culture, and that's very cool. So 1 p.m. Pacific time with Casey on Sunday the 25th. You can go to thenextfitnessthing.com/book club, and all of the book club info we have for you, including future dates, including links to the books, whether it's audiobook, ebook, physical book, etc. Your local library, you can get it that way too. Check us out. It's gonna be a good one for the book heads. All right. And next up, we have, it's Freebie Friday time. All right. So this is where we give something cool away. And the way that you get in on the Freebie Friday giveaway is you're already got step one handled. You're with us on this YouTube channel. So the next thing you do is comment on any video that we post over the next week, starting at the end of the show and going on through next Thursday. And then next Friday on the show, we will announce the previous week's Freebie Friday winner. So get on there, make your thoughts known. We love to hear from you. And shall we find out who is our winner, Alexis? Let's spin that wheel. Oh, okay. Who's going to get it? Who's going to get it? It is Nancy. Awesome. Nancy, congratulations. You're going to get something cool from TNFT, and we appreciate all your support. And thank you so much for helping us support this YouTube channel as well. So yeah, get on here and find all of our videos from the past or for the coming week, and then comment on those. And as long as you put one comment in, you're in the drawing. All right. So the more you comment, the better, because that helps us grow too. All right. So, and then we have been shortchanging the seasonal food spotlight here. And we got Thanksgiving coming up. You're probably doing your Thanksgiving Day menu prepping and shopping and things. So we want to shout out the lovely cranberry. So good for you, filled with antioxidants. And whether you like the sauce in the can that slides out and it has the grooves on it, I mean, yeah, but that's what I ate when I was a kid. I didn't know any better. Actually, I didn't like it when I was a kid.
People actually like that?
Oh, yeah, there is a definite preference for the stuff that slides out of the can. But I prefer to make my own fresh cranberry sauce now. It's really easy. It's just like literally cranberries and a little sugar and some water on the stove, and you just cook it until the berries start to pop. And it's amazing. And sometimes I like to put grated orange peel in mine too, because flavor combination of cranberry and orange is love that. So dried cranberries as well. I mentioned my yogurt concoction with the pumpkin spice syrup from the recipe, and I had some dried cranberries because I wanted a little fruitiness in there. But tart fruit, if you like tart, cranberries are for you. And yeah, get them in, because anything fruity and veggie that you can get into your life, generally speaking, is going to help boost your nutrition quotient. So thank you, cranberry lovers.
RD is in the chat saying she likes to make her own cranberry sauce.
Same.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
there you go.
Very nice. I have been trying to find sugar-free dried cranberries, And it is so challenging to
They're
find that.
rare. Yeah, I think the best I found recently, I did find some somewhere. I can't remember where it was. I don't want to necessarily give anybody a plug, but there is, I think there's a 50-50, like lightly sweetened, basically. So it's not as sweet as the usual, like full-on dried cranberries are. So maybe you want to
Right. If anybody
seek
has
out
a
the
hookup to
50-50.
sugar-free dried cranberries, drop it in the chat of this video.
Yes, yes, there you
Definitely a
go.
market for it.
All right. I think it's time to wrap this puppy, but no, it's fun today. It's fun to kind of go back and revisit the basics, the foundations. Or again, if you're new to us, this might be brand new information to you. And if that's you, you know what? Might be a real cool place for you to come hang out with us here at the Next Fitness Thing, because we got something for everybody, no matter what your fitness level is. So everybody's welcome to thenextfitnessthing.com. Sign up, get a membership, join our challenges, whatever you like. We're here for you. And the community is here for you as well. That's what sets us apart, because there ain't nothing like this TNFT community. Those of you who are with us live, thank you very much. Those of you who are with us on the recording, thank you very much. So before we wrap, one more reminder for you to subscribe if you haven't done so, and spread the word. We so want to get to that 500 subscriber mark, and we're getting there. We're getting there. So every subscription matters. Like, share, comment, all the things. And Facebook, one more time, facebook.com/group/the next fitness thing. That is open for business 24/7. And you're going to find a beautiful, welcoming, awesome, friendly community there once you join us if you're not there yet. So those of you who are in it, you can vouch, right? Okay, Alexis, thank you as always. You rock lots. And thank you, everybody, for checking us out. Let's high five it and get on out. Oh, here. Bang. All right. Shall we lay it out so we can dance it out? I'm voguing again. Maybe. Staying alive mashup. Thank you so much. Those of you who are live, have a great weekend. Checking out the recording. Have a great whatever day it is.